Hello everybody, Ashley here from Sexton-brewing.com, and I'm here with a craft beer review. Tonight we have from Flying Monkeys, Sparklepuff, Galaxy Starfighter Defender of the Universe. This has been a beer I've actually had before. Had this about a few weeks ago when the first batches came out, and I'm going to give this a second review. The reason why I'm reviewing this one today is because I've noticed on a lot of social media there's been a lot of complaints about this beer put forth by people who are really concerned about the appearance of the beer after it's been poured into their glass. Now, to go back on the story on this beer, this is a 10.2% alcohol by volume triple IPA. On the description, on the side of the, there's a little preamble on the side of the can, so let's just read that. Exploring realms of deep, dank space with the rule of 3 in its DNA, Sparklepuff launches with a payload of smashed summer peaches for cushions of fierce, malty fluff behind a forest field of hops. 3 times dry hopped, triple the hop flavor, and thrice the aroma. The 10.2% alcohol by volume of this unfiltered adventure glimmers with the epic glory of Sparklepuff, Galaxy Starfighter Defender of the Universe. Much like most Flying Monkeys, they have a lot of fun with their labels, they have a lot of fun with their stories, stuff like that. Sounds like they had a lot of fun with this beer. So, as I was saying, you know, there's been a lot of criticism out there lately about the inconsistent quality of the beer. Some people, you know, as this has been pouring out, there has been an exceptional amount of sediment that's been coming out into the glasses and whatnot. And yeah, so I just sort of wanted to give this as a proper review, talk about the sediment, sort of what people are seeing, what they're experiencing, is to the best of my knowledge, and just sort of go from there. So, as I said in the little description there, this was triple dry hopped. So, obviously, it's a very expensive process, triple dry hopping, and triple dry hopping does produce quite a large amount of sediment. And this being an unfiltered beer, well, it's a lot of hops, and therefore it's just a lot of sediment. They also say that they used a bunch of smashed summer peaches in it. So that is going to be added post-fermentation. So that is most likely also going to create quite a large amount of sediment at the bottom of the beer. And yeah, and then coupled with the fact it's unfiltered, probably use a low flocculating yeast as well. Probably going to get some yeast in there. So, you know, some New England style IPA style yeast, lots of peaches, lots of hops. There's going to be sediment. And I can see through the haze, there is quite a bit in mine as well. And I'm going to hold this up. It's probably just looking very hazy, very orange. This poured out very much like an orange juice, orange juice color, orange juice consistency. And I'll be honest, what I'm seeing floating around inside sort of reminds me of like a super pulped orange juice, you know, the with pulp on it or extra pulp. Well, this is probably the extra pulp variety, only it's not orange juice, obviously. It's a beer, and it's not orange pulp. It's probably just peaches, maybe some yeast flock, who knows. Aroma, you get a huge punch of peach, maybe a touch of mango, you know, just some like muddled tropical flavors, but the peach really screams through. Not getting much of a hop character whatsoever from it, from the aroma, but it smells delectable. So let's get into this. Cheers. On the palate, it bursts right on the front of the palate. Huge punch of huge tropical notes. More hop derived tropical notes from it. Very soft, very mild carbonation to it. The peach really comes through on the aroma. It hits a little bit on the back of the palate on the finish. And the 10.2 sort of sneaks up a little bit at the end. But other than that, I think the 10.2% is very well hidden. This is sort of what you'd consider to be a dangerous beer. Let's see if I can get more sediment in here. I want all the sediment. I'm not afraid of this stuff. Now, consistency wise, this is pretty much exactly as my first beer was about 5 weeks ago. And based on all the photos I'm seeing on Instagram, they pretty much all look the same. I don't think there's a consistency issue. Overall, this is a very tasty beer. This isn't a sit back and have a few cans of these type of beer. This is like a one and done beer. I just got home from work too, so this one's probably going to hit me pretty hard. But overall, from Flying Monkeys, you know, given the fact that this is from a second batch, or from a separate batch than what I had a few weeks ago, I'd say consistency wise, this tastes exactly, looks exactly, and reminds me exactly of the same as the other one I had. So that's just me. Some people could have had crazy different experiences. But what I will say is that what you are seeing in your glass, it's nothing to be afraid of. It is, it's probably just a little bit more amped up than what you would have seen in some of the other double dry hopped fruit adjunct IPAs that you've had. That's about it. I don't know what else to say about this one. Overall, this is a really tasty beer though. I'm glad I picked this one up again. Don't be swayed by what you see and what you hear on social media. Despite what someone else may say or hear, if you're really curious in a beer, just pick one up yourself and have it. Don't say, oh, thanks for saving me the $5 or whatever it is, because taking someone's word for it. Go out there, experience it for yourself. Don't worry about what other people say. If you're really interested in a beer, just pick up the can. Anyways, that's it for me. Sparklepuff, 10.2% triple IPA, pretty solid beer. And that's it. So you guys have yourselves a good night. And you're starting to see some of that settle at the bottom. But that's all right. It's all going to go down the hatch anyways. Have yourselves a good night. We'll see you later.